So the question here is, can a new keyboard and mouse player go from bronze all the way to Unreal in just 24 hours? If you didn't know already, Unreal is the hardest rank to get in Fortnite, and with the drop of the new season, only around 16,000 people have gotten it already. As some of you guys might know, I started on keyboard and mouse around 3 months ago now, and this isn't my first time trying to get Unreal. Last time I got to like Diamond 1 because I didn't dedicate much time to it, but this time I'm going to be spending hours trying to actually hit Unreal. So make sure to stick around to see if I can hit Unreal or if all this time was for nothing. In my first game, I decided to head to Ranger's Ruin, and my one goal was to just W key. As soon as I landed, I went straight for loot because I needed to get right into action. After I was done looting up, I ran straight into this guy and had a very close call. After I somehow won this fight, I just decided to heal up a bit, and then this dude popped up out of nowhere, ending my first game. Somehow, over the course of the literal 2 minutes that I was alive, I managed to get Silver 3. In my second game, I decided to head to Demon's Domain, and let's just say that did not end well. In my next game, I decided to head to Supernova, where I picked up my first 3 eliminations. After this, I moved all around the map, picking up elimination after elimination. I then opened the bunker, and I got myself an exotic OXR. With this, I continued moving around the map, getting even more eliminations, and I even found this exotic wrecker. I then decided that I was going to go check and see if somebody was claiming the suitcase of patience. I looked through the window, I didn't see anybody, but I decided to head to the door, and to my surprise, there was actually somebody there. I feel kind of bad for taking him out, but 1, it's ranked, and 2, I had no clue he was there. Even after I opened the door, I did not see him. I kept making my way around the map, finding a few more eliminations, and now there were 2 other people remaining. I then spotted the second to last guy, took him out, and then it was a 1v1. If I didn't play this smart, I'd be losing myself many points that would help me to reach Unreal. I swear, I went all around the map looking for this last guy, and I could not find him. I then spotted him, and decided I was going to try to hit a clip. Yeah, I gotta work on my free building, bro. But this one win got me all the way up to Gold 1 64%. After this win, my next few games, I kept dying immediately. Somehow though, I managed to go from Gold 1 to Gold 3 in these games. It was starting to look like this was how the rest of my games were gonna go. So when I got into the next game, I knew that I had to play this smart, meaning that I was only gonna take fights if I knew I could win. I decided to head to Demon's Domain, where I picked up my first 2 eliminations. I then heard some shooting, so I decided to push. Me and this other guy got into a build fight for a little while, and then I just did this to him. People were dying quick, and before I knew it, there was only 5 people left. I then chased this guy down and took him out, meaning it was now a 1v1v1. I quickly eliminated this guy and then got into a build fight with the last player. This fight felt like it was lasting forever, but then he decided to drop down, and that's when I got him. In this one game, I had 11 eliminations with the win, and it got me all the way up to Platinum. After this win, I was hoping that I could continue doing good in the rest of my games. So when I got into my next match, I was hoping that I'd do good, but honestly that did not happen. After this loss, I decided to head to Utopia. I landed on the bridge, opened this chest, and got myself an SMG. I then heard somebody walking above me, so I decided to push them, and I had a really close call. I proceeded to loot up a bit, and then I saw this guy jump out of a window, so I quickly took him out. I then made the mistake of heading over to this building, where I got demolished by both of these people. I did manage to make it to Platinum 2 though. I then decided to head to Canyon Crossing because I wanted to go somewhere that wouldn't have too many people. I spent a little time looting up, and then I heard some fighting, so I decided to push. I then came across this guy and managed to hit a couple shots on him, but then I was attacked by a bunch of bugs, so I had to take them out first. Once I finally took out the bugs that were near me, I decided to push him, and I actually managed to take him out. After I took this guy out, most of the lobby was already gone, so I just decided to move around the map. After moving all around the map, I still only had one elimination when there were 10 people remaining. I then noticed that the person with the medallion was in the bunker, so I decided to push them, and then I realized that I should have gotten myself more mats before pushing. So then I decided to farm up a bit, which was a really dumb idea because I knew he was right next to me, and let's just say it did not end well at all. After that, I decided to head to Foxy. When I landed, I grabbed myself a pistol and quickly took out this guy. I then went down the zipline, looted up a bit more, and ran into this guy. After I took him out, I looted up a little bit more and then decided to rotate. I ran around the map a bit and then I decided that I was going to fish. Anyway, nothing really happened the rest of the game until I decided to push the guy with the medallion, and let's just say I do not learn from my mistakes. In the next game, not a lot happened, so I'm just gonna skip to the end where I died. I did manage to get Platinum 3 though. I then decided that I was gonna head to Utopia. My goal was to get enough eliminations to rank me up to Diamond 1. When I landed, I looted up a bit, and then I tried fighting. I went around Utopia for a minute, and then I heard this guy. I crash padded up just to realize he was below me, and then he hit my crash pad. I quickly took him out because I realized somebody was now starting to third party. I tried throwing down a launch pad, but that did not work at all, so I just tried to run and heal. I went around healing for a minute, and then they both went to the building that I was in, and I made this dumb play. I'm not even gonna get into detail for the next two games because I died immediately, causing my rank to go down. In my next game, however, I actually did pretty good. I decided to land at the farms where I looted up a bit. I then ran into this guy and quickly took him out. When I was healing up from that fight, I heard somebody gliding, so I decided to peek, and I actually got him. Once I took that guy out, another guy must have heard the shooting because he decided to push me. Thankfully though, I did manage to take him out. After that, I just moved around the map like I normally do. I did get into a couple of fights, but I managed to make it out. By the time I hit the end game, I had 5 eliminations, and then I got into a fight with this guy. Honestly, this guy was insane, and he came out of nowhere, so it's not surprising that I lost. After that, I went to Shifty Shafts, and I just ran around the map the whole game. I did manage to pick up an elimination, but there wasn't really much action. And of course, just like all the other games, I died. You guys are probably pretty bored by now considering all the games are the exact same, so from now on I'm only going to talk about games that went at least somewhat well. In the next game, I decided that I wanted to play aggressive, so I went to Foxy. When I landed, I tried grabbing this AR, but sadly this guy beat me to it. I somehow managed to escape him without taking too much fall damage. I then grabbed this AR and he made the dumb mistake of going up the zipline. After that fight, I tried healing up a bit and then I heard a guy next to me, so I decided to crouch. I snuck over to where he was and managed to take him out with my SMG. I then heard this guy walking around and I was just trying to be sneaky, and then by the time I actually left the underground tunnels, he was gone. I literally could not find him anywhere. Because of this, I kept rotating, trying to find some fights. I tried a little bit too hard to find fights because then when I got into this one, I managed to take out one of the guys, but then I was low, so I just had to hide. Thankfully, I managed to throw down my crash pads and run, but then I went back to Foxy where I died to this guy. Overall, it was a pretty good game, and this one actually brought me to Diamond. I know I said I was only going to talk about games that I did good in, but I just think it's hilarious how in one of my next games, I actually went back to fishing. In my next game, I just decided to go to some random place. When I landed, I got myself a hammer and then immediately tried getting into a fight. I hit this guy a couple of times, but I could not actually manage to get him. I then saw somebody gliding near me, so I tried taking him out, but I ran out of ammo, so in the end, both of them got away. I then went around the map for a bit because I had an AR with 0 bullets and nothing else. Over the course of a few minutes, all I found was an SMG, and then I ran into this guy. I actually ran out of ammo mid-fight, but thankfully he was not that good of a player. I swear, immediately after I took this guy out, another guy pushed me, but at least this time I actually had the loot to take him out. After I took this guy out, you probably guessed it, another guy pushed me, and I actually took him out as well. I'm so confused on why these last two people pushed me because they literally had nothing. Since I took all these people out, I was actually hoping that there wouldn't be too many good players in this lobby. I don't know why I did this, but I decided to push the person with the medallion again. I actually managed to survive for a while, even getting some of them low, but then he beamed me out of the air, ending my game. I thought this was a pretty good game, but in the end, I only went up 14%. For the next game, I decided to head to Supernova. Immediately when I landed, I grabbed this wrecker, which helped me to take this guy out. I knew that there were like 5 other people in the same building as me, so I had to play this smart. I looted up a bit, and then I noticed that this guy was about to mantle up, so I went and hid in the closet. I hit him for a bit of damage, but I now had to find a different way to get to him. I then made this 200 IQ play. In the end, I didn't fight this guy, I just decided that it was best for me to run. I went around for a bit like I normally do, and then I decided that I was going to push the guy with the medallion. You guys are probably thinking that this is now the end of the game because every time I do this, I die. But this time was actually different. I managed to take him out, securing myself a medallion. I kept going around the map, but before I knew it, there were only 9 other people left, and I had 7 eliminations. This game was going insane, and if I could keep it up, I could guarantee myself Diamond 2. My goal was to just not get noticed by many people, but then I ran into this guy. I managed to get him low and then launch above him, taking him out. I then noticed that there was a guy in a tree, and I quickly took him out. I was moving around circle, and then I saw this guy in storm, so I tried to take him out, which I thankfully managed to do. I was playing so aggressive, and I made so many people run from me. But then this guy jumped over me and ended my game. Just like I had said earlier though, I did actually make it to Diamond 2. For the next game, I went to Shifty, and I'm not even going to talk about the beginning half of the game because I really didn't do much. I was just sliding through the tunnel, and then I saw a guy right next to me. After I noticed him, I started to crouch, and I made my way over to where he was. He was just sitting there, so I got myself a pretty easy elimination. I knew that there was at least one other guy here, so I went around the whole POI trying to find him. Once I found him, we fought for a bit, and then I just spammed the life out of him. I then noticed that the bunker was being opened, so I made my way over there. To my surprise, there was somebody here waiting for me. We kept trading damage for a bit, but thankfully I managed to take him out. Once I took him out though, somebody else showed up. I managed to do a bit of damage to that guy, making him run, but for some reason I chose to chase him, causing me to lose. This game brought my rank up a bit, so I guess it wasn't a total loss. I then went to this random soccer themed POI, and to my surprise, others were heading here as well. I looted up quickly, hit a couple shots on him, and then tried looting up a bit more before I pushed. When I was pushing him, I had no clue where he went, and then I heard his footsteps and managed to take him out. I looted up a bit more, and then I started to rotate, and I absolutely beamed this guy. This guy was playing so aggressive, but I did manage to take him out. In this game, people were dying so quick, and everywhere I went, I would find a fight. I got myself into some fight with a couple of people, but then I managed to take this guy out when he did not know where I was. For some reason, instead of running after I took this guy out, I tried taking down the boss. The other guy I was fighting a second ago decided to push me, and thankfully I managed to take him out. I then took out the boss, grabbed the medallion, and then I saw this guy building up, so I went to go chase him. And I swear, every time I die, it's because I make a dumb move like this. In the next game, I tried landing here. When I landed, I grabbed myself a couple shotguns, and then he hit me with his DMR, getting me low. I then crash padded up to him and took him out. After I took him out, I decided to hit the zip line over to this area to loot up a bit more. I then decided to make my way over to Supernova, and I saw this guy chasing me. I managed to hit a few shots on him, and then I walked up to his wall, and for some reason, he literally edited it for me. After I took him out, another guy pushed me, and we traded shots for a while, but in the end, he won. I was now Diamond 3, 49%. I don't know why, but after this one game, the lobby started getting insanely hard. I swear, I played a few games after that, and every time I would die with 0 to 1 eliminations, which caused my rank to go down. This caused me to lose a lot of hope for actually hitting Unreal. So in the next game, I tried to play different. I went to Outpost. I then proceeded to loot up like I normally do, but it was only when I captured this point that I realized nobody else went here with me. I then heard some shooting near me, so I tried taking advantage of it and pushing. I then landed on the roof, hit one for a bit of damage, and then he boxed up. I was making my way over to him to try to take him out, but then the other guy took the elimination. Thankfully though, I did manage to take him out after that. After I was was done collecting their loot, I hit the launch pad and started to rotate to circle. When I was rotating, I ran into this guy and beamed him for a bit of damage. When I tried pushing him, I realized that another guy was now here. I then tried healing up for a minute. Once I was done healing, I tried making my way back over, and then I got pushed by Spider-Man here, which was honestly a bad play by him. This guy was stacked, but I didn't really have the time to take his loot right then. I ran off to the side to try and heal for a second, but then the other guy pushed me. I then realized that I was running kinda low on mats, so I decided to go back to his body where I grabbed myself the AR and the tiny bit of mats that he had. I then launched above him, dealing a bit of damage and causing him to box up. I then sprayed his cone and he tried running, but I did not let that happen. Players kept dying and I kept getting myself eliminations, and before I knew it, it was the top 10 already. I then rotated a bit and got in a fight with this guy. I'm not gonna bore you with all the details of the fight because we didn't really do much, but I did realize that he had dropped the medallion, so I went and took that. I then realized the storm was coming, so I decided to run, and apparently he was right next to me, so I jumped above him, taking him out. I'm not gonna show you a couple eliminations I got this game because honestly they were pretty boring, but I then saw this guy sliding down a mountain, so I absolutely beamed him. I then managed to take his wall and take him out. There are now 2 other people remaining. I went around the map for a bit looking for him, and then before I knew it, it was a 1v1. I then found him, made my way over to him, hit him for so much damage, but the game made me mantle right into his shotgun. Overall, it was a great game that got me to Diamond 3 76%. I'm just gonna skip most of the next game because I didn't actually get an elimination until there were 20 something people left. I glided around the map for a bit and then got myself into a huge fight. This fight had like 4 other people in it, so I just decided to target one of them. I did manage to take out this guy, but it was a really close call. The only reason I survived this was because of the siphon I was getting. I don't know why, but I then decided to push again where I got killed by this third partier. You're probably a bit confused on why I even showed this game, but the reason is because this game I hit Elite, which was my highest rank ever. I played on Elite for a bit, but each time I would only go up a little bit in rank, and I had the fear that I'd go back down to Diamond 3 eventually. I also had been playing for hours and I didn't get Unreal. Because of this, I just decided to end the challenge. But thank you guys so much for watching, and subscribe if you think I should try this challenge again soon.